Hello and welcome back to our study of Peninei Halacha, the teachings of Rabbi Eliezer Melamed Shlita. Okay, so we're back live, so to speak. I know that the last couple of weeks were review sessions. I know the days didn't line up. You got an Erev Shabbos greeting on a Wednesday, perhaps. Things didn't seem as they were current because, as I'd mentioned earlier, they were reruns as I was traveling for work and many, many other things. But here we are back, and hope everyone had a restful yeshiva week break. And when I left off last time, I said I was hoping that we wouldn't have to say the same heading of please pray for Chayalei Tzva Haganah Yisrael, Fushlam L'Chol Petzuei Yisrael, and a safe return of our hostages. And while there is some progress that we have seen, Baruch Hashem, 7 hostages that have been freed, more to come, God willing, but we will not stop davening, having them on our minds until every single one of our hostages is home and all of the families are complete. And this is not the place to debate the efficacy of such a deal. It's both great and horrible at the same time, and that's the world that we've been living in for over 15 months. And we dedicate our learning Le'ilei Nishmat Seren Daniel Shimon Rav Zerim V'Shalei Hashem Yikom Damo. So the new topic I wanted to start, we're going to go a little bit back to basics. Yesodos Hilchos Tefillah. We talk a lot about davening. We talked about Marav, Mincha, Kaddish. Let's look at the foundational aspects of davening, since it's a big part of our life, certainly a big part of shul life. So here we go. Hatfila hi echad mein habituim ha'ikrim shel emunah b'Hashem. Prayer, tefillah, is one of the main expressions of our faith in Hashem. Ha'adam eino mushlam, yesh l'chasronos v'hu mishtokem l'hashlimam. A person is not complete. We have deficiencies. We have things that we lack, and we work hard to complete them. So therefore we turn to the creator of the world in tefillah. And our lack of completeness that we have as human beings, so there's 2 levels of this expression. Most people, they feel the need to daven, the need to reach out to pray to God, only when there is something that's lacking in their lives. L'mashal, k'sha'adam nechla o nifza, u'ke'evav ke'aviv govrim, when, let's say, somebody is sick or injured or you're overwhelmed with pain, he realizes that not every expert doctor in the world, no expert doctor in the world, can guarantee his good feeling, his well-being. And you realize that it's only Hashem, in whose hands are all living souls, that Hashem can heal you and make you truly feel well and have a long and fruitful life. At that moment, he davens, he prays from the walls of his heart to Hashem that he should be healed. Anytime when we face narrow straits, difficulties, pain, suffering, we have trouble with parnasa, we have trouble with financial issues, our enemies are rising up against us, or let's say you have a good friend that turns on you, or you have a difficulty in a relationship, you realize and you understand how much your good life just hangs on nothing in the balance, and therefore you turn to God, that Hashem should help you and save you. But when things are going normally, when things are on an equal, even keel, and most people don't feel like they're lacking anything, and therefore, in those instances, generally speaking, you're not going to feel a need to turn to Hashem in tefillah. Those who look deeper will understand that even in those instances, we're not complete. When we have good health, and we make a good living, and we have a great family life, and have friends, and they're faithful, and nationally speaking, we feel safe and secure, and people will feel, oh, I'm at a very, very high level. Chashem es chisronam ha'kiyumi. You could feel what's lacking in your existence. Hem yodim shechayim megbulim. They realize that there are boundaries to life. We realize that not things are limited. Gam im hakol yatov. Even if everything is great, yovo yom vehem yamusim v'zikna. It won't last forever. Great situations don't last forever. Ultimately, everybody dies. Gam achshav k'shehem tzirim v'chazakim. Hem einem misigalim lahavin lahagesh hasakol kafi sharatzu. Now, when we're young and strong, we don't have the ability to understand or to feel everything as it's meant to be. We can't really express and have an understanding of really what life is really about. Even one aspiration, one thing that we look forward to, we can't necessarily have a full expression. So even when everything is great, we realize that, we're not fully reaching our potential. So there we turn to Hashem. The God of heaven and earth, who can ultimately redeem us from whatever it is that we are lacking. By connecting yourself to Hashem through davening, that's how we find real completeness. By realizing what we don't have, not in a desperate sense, but in a realistic, understanding sort of way, then this brings about redemption. And so we discussed there's two different levels of tefillah. There's tefillah sort of when we need something or want something, or when we have an acute sense of what's wrong, versus when everything's right, everything's going well, and we have perhaps a broader sense of the completeness that we aspire to achieve. So thank you again for joining us back live. We'll do this topic for a little bit as we go forward. Continue learning. Please continue davening for Chaylei Tzvagan Yisrael, for Shlema Chol Patzui Yisrael, safe return of every single one of our hostages. We dedicate our learning to Nishmat, Sarah Daniel Shimon, Rav John Bashili, Shem Gadamo. Have a most wonderful day, and we'll see you here next time. Take care.